All in. We're really excited that you're here. We hope this will be the first of many return visits that you'll make. But let's do some Florida.
It's time for Friday Fabulous Florida.
There is a gigantic alligator in my kitchen.
A look at the weirdest stories from our weirdest state.
And everybody, from former producer John Daly to Albert to Tony to Kim and all of you in the text. You just
why don't you just text it?
Exactly. You can put it right in there into the chat and comment at will over these stories. This is a classic caper.
Uh-oh.
A guy attempting to rob a Publix. There are many Publix stores in Florida. This Florida man attempting to rob the Publix with a stapler, everybody. That's right.
Oh. Wow.
Yeah. He went in with a stapler and...
Ooh, it's a wild idea, but it just might work.
Give me everything you've got.
That's the one right next to the Office Depot?
It is. It is in that mini mall.
Yeah.
Patrick Abbott, 31, entered a Publix on Biscayne Boulevard. Gave an employee a note. Told her to put the money in a bag. Or he was going to staple her to the wall. No, he said he had a gun. He said he had a gun, but he actually had a stapler. The employee read the note. She pretended to help one of her coworkers and called for help. Abbott left the Publix empty-handed, I should say, and was caught by empty-handy ought to be a thing.
What?
Smashed it with your iron rod.
Yeah, smashed it. He was caught by Miami cops while throwing the note away. So it's tough. Caught in the act of throwing the note away.
Oh, because he didn't recycle it.
Yeah. The gun he claimed to have turned out to be a black stapler, according to the cops. They're going to still charge him with robbery.
You use what you got, you know?
That's right.
You should have gone to Home Depot and got a staple gun.
Yeah, you're right. It's
Come on,
both
dude.
a gun
This
and
is
a
Florida.
stapler.
Step up.
I got to give the guy credit for, improving. Central Florida guy sentenced for plotting to kill his ex-wife with poison in a water gun. Wow.
Ooh, it's a wild idea, but it just might work.
What is she supposed to open her mouth while he squirts it in there? What?
It is, I agree with Kim in the implied question that she asks, which is it's an odd way to off somebody, don't you think?
At least he didn't use a stapler. He's got the gun.
True. Yeah, the stapler's been done. Dude, saw it in Miami. This is the Kissimmee, or is it Kissimmee, isn't it? Is that how they say it in Florida?
Yeah.
Kissimmee. He's been sentenced, this guy from Kissimmee has been sentenced for plotting to kill his former partner with a poisoned water gun. Kevin Jones is his name. He's 50 years old. He got 10 years in federal prison for this. Unlawfully possessing the ricin, which is a biological toxin.
Oh.
Yeah, that's a serious poison. So
he had ricin in a water gun?
He had a couple of firearms also.
How did they figure that out?
Oh, my God.
He reportedly planned to spray his former partner with the poison using the water gun. So it's exactly as you said it was, Kim. He was going to spray his former partner with the poison using a water gun. Then he was going to go on vacation. So he had an alibi. This is, again, according to his story and what cops...
Wait, then he was going to go on vacation?
Yeah.
Don't you need it to happen at the same time to be an alibi?
If you go on vacation soon enough, you can say, I was on vacation. I think is the plan.
I see.
Yeah. So he was caught with the ricin and the water gun. So you're kind of done. And the cops are taking a victory lap on this. They say the investigation demonstrates the strength of our law enforcement partnership and the determination of special agents and officers who risk their lives every day to keep the public safe. So
I'm actually impressed that the Florida cops figured that out.
Yeah, I think they're getting hipper, but I would say they're overworked down there. They've got a lot of cases to uncover. A Florida man. Here's a thank you, Albert, for getting us the reptile stories. Albert had to scramble to get a lot of these Florida stories.
It's not easy. It's never easy in this business.
It's never easy in this business. Where is my never easy in this business?
First, thank you.
No.
I've told you it's never easy being in
Thank
this
you.
business.
That's the one. A Florida man is injured when an iguana falls on his face during a yoga class.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, it is that time of year.
Yeah, it's right. Where the iguanas fall because of the cold.
Oh.
A Florida man was left bruised and bleeding after an iguana fell on his face during a yoga class in Miami.
I did have to search this story a couple of times because it was kind of unbelievable. So I had to do a deep dive to confirm that this was a true story.
Establishing the bona fides of this story.
Albert, thank you.
Yes.
Got to get to the truth.
Very, very impressive, Albert. Thank you. Instructor Ana Margaret Sanchez was teaching a free community class at Miami's Legion Park in the Upper East Side neighborhood of Miami. Sanchez live streams the session on Instagram so that people at home can still take part in the yoga. She was holding the class. It was a beautiful day, and the class cut short when two iguanas, who onlookers say were likely having a territorial dispute, started to create a ruckus in the oak tree above the class. During their fight, one of the iguanas either fell or was pushed by the other iguana straight down.
Were they shooting at each other?
That would be the most Florida thing if they had knives out. But when the iguana fell, it fell right onto one of the yogis below. She was bruised, injured, and the guy who was hit by the giant lizard, so she is there, and there's another guy there. They're both leading the yoga class, and he was hit. He said, I didn't see it coming. It felt like a sandbag hit me in the face.
Oh.
Yeah. The first thing that went through my head was it must have been a coconut. But there were no coconut trees, he said. Then I thought maybe the guy next to me slugged me. But then I looked next to me, and there was no guy next to me. I mean, we're in a yoga class, and it's so calm and peaceful. Why would a guy hit me, I thought. And they say the iguana likely weighed between 20 and 30 pounds and fell from a branch that was about 25 feet in the air. So if you do the arithmetic and the physics, that hurts. Anyway, apparently he'll be okay.
And he did choose in the article to not give his full name, so he didn't want that embarrassment to carry with him.
Well, he didn't want the iguana's family to come after him either.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
Joe Box and Little Anthony.
Yeah, exactly. They might have come after him. Anyway, he'll be okay is the important thing. And then this. A Florida woman is pulled from a storm drain for the third time in 2 years. I mean, she
Mark,
really
we reported on the first 2 times. We were on KGO.
Wow.
How do you even do that?
That's a wild fact. Albert is relaying that we've had the story twice already about the same woman.
Albert, thank you.
Yeah. A woman pulled from a storm drain for the third time in just over 2 years. Delray Beach cops say they responded to a call of someone possibly in distress while swimming in a canal near Lindell Boulevard. Where's Lindell Boulevard, John?
Oh, you know where that is. It's right down the street from Whole Foods and Publix.
Yeah, there you go. When officers asked if the woman needed help, police said she ignored them and climbed into a storm drain pipe.
Oh, ma'am.
The woman refused to come out, began crawling farther into the pipe, according to the cops. Firefighters still able to get her between 2 sections of the pipe.
Well, maybe she heard your first show and she was really excited and wanted to get back on.
Yeah.
She's like, I know what I'll do.
Right.
It was great. I loved it.
Yeah, apparently.
I mean, if we're speaking things into existence, maybe next time get caught with a machete in the storm drain to make this more of a Florida story.
Yeah, right. If you want, please step up your game.
Yeah,
I mean, we get it.
You got caught again in a storm drain. Like that.
Where's the meth pipe? Come on.
Right, exactly. Change your pipe. My God. A Florida woman and her son accused of running a brothel. Wow. Chris, that is not cool.
Yeah, keeping it in the family.
Yes. A mother and son are facing charge. I shouldn't laugh. I certainly don't approve. A mother and son are facing charges of making a living by running a brothel out of a Florida home.
As one does.
Yeah, well, you talk about starting a small business. Before you know it, you're the most popular house on the block.
You need to call Steve Moskowitz.
That's right. Steve can help you. I don't think Steve really deals with illegal activities too much.
He's from New York.
Hey, look, it's just saying.
How would you handle this? We could try ignoring it, sir.
All right. You could, I don't know. An investigation by the Palm Beach County Human Trafficking Task Force, that's the Vice Squad, found the house in Lake Worth Beach, actually a brothel operation that offered commercial sexual activity. Authorities said the suspect's trouble began with a complaint with underage girls involved. Oh, that's not cool. Okay. So they learned both the son and the mom were involved in this activity. I mean, they were the purveyors of the activity. They weren't actually giving out sex themselves. The detectives say the mom worked the door and took money. The Johns, as they're called, would knock on the door and be let in. They'd pay $50 and be handed a card. They then would pick a female commercial sex worker that they wanted to go into a room with, hand over the card, engage in sexual acts, and leave. It was a $50 and 15-minute limit. You get it all done in 15 minutes.
Sounds like a Geico ad.
It is. Look, they're behind bars is the important point. Yeah. A Florida man, self-proclaimed arsonist, arrested after burning a sheriff's patrol vehicle.
No.
Yeah.
The guy. Well, the reason he felt bad for doing it, according to the deputies.
There was remorse.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. Callers reported the vehicle, a Hernando County Sheriff's Office patrol vehicle, parked in the parking lot of an apartment complex. It was in the area of Northcliffe Boulevard, for people who know Florida. Northcliffe Boulevard and Portillo Road in Spring Hill, Florida. Where is that, John? Northcliffe Boulevard?
Right by the Whole Foods.
Yes, thank you very much. Several patrol deputies, along with Hernando County Fire and Emergency Services, arrived on the scene. They put the fire out. They saw severe damage. Another vehicle parked near the patrol vehicle also sustained damage from the fire. They began investigating. A male approached during the investigation at the crime scene. That's the way these fire bugs are often. The male, later identified as Anthony Thomas Tarduno, detained. Tarduno admitted to starting the fire, said he was intoxicated. When he gets drunk, he does, quote, stupid things.
Yeah, I was willing to bet my lunch.
Yeah.
I'd be willing to bet my lunch that there's alcohol involved.
He went to a nearby dumpster. He grabbed a bag of garbage, then placed the bag under the patrol vehicle and used a lighter to set it ablaze. That's a pretty low-tech caper.
Ooh, it's a wild idea, but it just might work.
It did do a lot of damage, so that's not cool. And he's on 2 counts of arson and has a $30,000 bond, so that it ends ugly for... And finally, there's this out of Florida. A Florida man accused of impersonating an officer steals from an elderly man at 7-Eleven. Yes, he's under arrest now, but when he was out there, he was robbing and impersonating law enforcement officers. He's James Troy Davis, 52 years old. In Osceola County. I think that's how you say it.
Yeah.
Cops responded to the 7-Eleven gas station on Bronson Memorial Highway. An elderly man said an unknown white man helped him fill his gas tank. After helping him, he said the man said he was a police officer and told the victim he looked too tired to drive. Apparently, he then told the man to park in one of the parking spots in front of the 7-Eleven. When he began to flashed what the man said were patrol lights on the grill of his vehicle, he believed that the guy was a police officer. Deputies said that he then saw the man wearing stolen jewelry. This is what the guy who was impersonating a police officer claimed, that the jewelry that the guy was wearing was stolen, and that he wanted it handed over right away because it was clearly stolen. The man got scared. He handed the jewelry over to this guy who's impersonating the police officer. He took a photo of the jewelry, told the man that he'd return it to him within an hour if he could confirm that indeed it was not stolen. He took off with the man's 2 gold rings, a necklace, a bracelet. And my God, it was a lot of stuff. I mean, the poor guy.
If you get it in order, you get extra points.
2 gold rings, a necklace, and a bracelet.
You always have to be careful when someone offers to help you, right? Yeah, it's the offer of help that should have been the first red flag. What's
$30,000 worth of jewelry.
And I think the older boys and girls should probably stay away from 7-Eleven. Haven't we seen enough of these stories?
I will tell you that 7-Eleven has become a sadly scary place.
Every story is like an elderly man beat at 7-Eleven trying to...
People take advantage of our older boys and girls. I don't like it, but it happens, and there are a lot of older boys and girls in Florida. Yeah. So there's that. That is Friday Fabulous Florida for today.
This has been Friday Fabulous Florida.
There is a gigantic alligator in my kitchen.
Y'all come back now here.
Well, we need to pick a favorite, and I'll remind you of the stories. Did we put up a YouTube poll on this, Albert, or not
Yes,
today?
the poll's up right now. So I have 4 options there. The stapler robbery, poison water gun. I combined those. I have storm drain woman, iguana yoga, and impersonating officer.
Okay, so you can find
Albert. Thank you.
You can find those on YouTube. You can find the polls, and you pick your favorite there on YouTube, and we will update that at the beginning of the next hour. So we do it. It's kind of a turbo poll. But meantime, we ask everybody here, the assembled. And we will start with our guest today, John Daly, but let me remind you what the stories were. Florida man uses stapler in attempt to rob Publix. Central Florida man sentenced for plotting to kill his ex with poison that's in a water gun. He had ricin. Florida man injured when the iguana falls on his face while he was teaching yoga class.
I don't know.
A Florida woman pulled from the storm drain for the 3rd time in 2 years. We've reported on each and every storm drain extraction event here on Friday Fabulous Florida. Family business that was a brothel working out of a home in Florida. A Florida man, self-proclaimed arsonist, admits to the cops that he was the one who set fire to the patrol vehicle, and he says he was drunk and regrets it. And then finally, the Florida man accused of stealing from the elderly man at 7-Eleven. I ask you, John Daly, for a favor, please.
I like the stapler story, but I got to go for iguana knockout.
Yeah.
I like that they were working together.
Yeah. There was a fight.
It was like a caper.
Yeah, it's true. So you go for iguana knockout is your point.
John Daly, my producer.
Okay, and tell me what you like, Kim. Do you agree with John Daly?
I feel like I do, but I was going to go sewer because 3 times in a sewer, how quintessentially Florida could you get?
Yeah.
But iguana, you win me. Yes.
Kim, how are you?
All right. Iguana in the park. Tony, what do you like? What's your favorite? We can't hear
Firebug
Tony.
police car.
Firebug police car.
Thanks, Tony.
Strong choice.
And
just because he's drunk and all that, just
yeah.
He's
drunk, he's disorderly.
He didn't think it was going to work. I know he did.
Thanks, Tony.
It did.
But isn't that the default in Florida?
Yeah, drunk and out of control.
No.
Right. He was sober.
Albert, you live and breathe these stories. Which one is your favorite?
It's an easy answer. It's a storm drain woman. I can't wait for the 4th time, and I can't wait for us to talk about it.
Albert, thank you.
That's so good.
Maybe you could book her.
Yeah,
She's the gift that keeps on giving.
We should book her, Albert.
She could do a live shot.
Yeah. In the chat, it's
Iguana Yoga is kind of running away with it. 62% of the votes so far out of 79. 1 vote for impersonating officer. So that was very impressive. That's the most impressive stat you get from this poll.
You can participate in the poll on YouTube.
Why don't you just text it?
If you're watching it in replay, you can leave us your favorite there in comments while you're smashing the like button like a boss. My favorite, it is a photo finish for me between the storm drain woman and the iguana. The iguana is just so Florida that it's hard for me to resist. All right. Thank you, Albert. A fine collection. And I appreciate that. And thank you, John Daly, for joining us for it. I mean, that was a really great surprise to have you join us. And
well, it's nice to be back.
Yeah.
And, you know, this segment was my favorite part about working at KGO towards the end. It was like the last thing. The last thing that I was holding on to, right?
Yeah, there was less and less to hold on to.
Yeah.
But hi, it's Mark, and I thought that was great. Hit the notification bell. You'll know whenever there's a new video being dropped, and please subscribe to our channel to help us save the universe.